All right, Tom Roten Morning Show, 8:51 on a Tuesday, July 10th, 2018. 77 degrees right now in the tri-state. Looking for another hot one this afternoon. All right, President Donald Trump nominates Brett Kavanaugh, a D.C. Circuit judge, to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, he was confirmed by the Senate in 2006 to the Circuit Court. Will he be confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court? The protest basically already began before he was even announced. Alexandra Smith is former chairwoman of the College Republican National Committee. She's the executive director of America Rising. She joins us now. Alex, good morning. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me. I am excited this morning.
Well, I think a lot of conservatives are excited about Judge Kavanaugh. Tell us why you are.
I'm excited about Judge Kavanaugh, and I quite frankly would have been excited about any of the names on the president's list, because what the president's list and Judge Kavanaugh in particular reflect is a respect for the Constitution that, our friends on the left just seem not to have. What we look for as conservatives in a judge is we look for someone who's going to interpret the Constitution according to its original public intent. And we're also looking for someone who's going to interpret the letter of the law, not, sort of read into it other sort of policy considerations or sort of, their own interpretations of it. And that's what Judge Kavanaugh does. He has an incredible record spanning years on the D.C. Circuit. It's like the president said yesterday, he's a judge's judge and just has a lot to show for his great legal career.
Yeah. So how likely do you think it is that he makes it through the confirmation process? The Senate Republican majority is very, very narrow, and then you have Senator McCain is probably not going to be there. You've got senators like Collins of Maine, Murkowski of Alaska, who vowed not to appoint someone who, in their words, would be too pro-life, I guess. So, what do you think about the possibility of the confirmation going through?
I think it's likely that the confirmation goes through, and it ought to, because this is someone that's an incredibly qualified person who is fit to serve on the Supreme Court. But that being said, of course, politics are going to enter in anything that goes on these days. And I think, it's important to remember that while our majority as Republicans is slim in the Senate, for the last confirmation process with Justice Gorsuch, we were able to pull over 3 Democrats. And so there are even more reasons, and the stakes are even higher for these red state Democrats this time around. So there are 10 Democratic senators who are running in states that the president won in 2016. He won 5 of those states by 15 points or more. And so, for these senators, a lot of them have previously opposed the president on his tax cuts. Some of them opposed the confirmation of Justice Gorsuch. Some of them, most of them opposed the repeal of Obamacare. And so, I think that come the fall, their constituents are going to be rightfully asking them, how have you really gone to Washington and worked with this president and worked across the aisle? And this seems like a really great opportunity, particularly with someone so qualified, to say, yes, I supported the president on this matter.
Yeah, one of those 5 senators in a state that Trump won by more than 15 points is right here in West Virginia, and Joe Manchin. What do you think? What do you think about Senator Manchin? Will he go along with Trump?
Well, he did to his credit, he did for Justice Gorsuch, and I can only hope that he's going to meet with Judge Kavanaugh and keep an open mind and help him get across the finish line in the Senate. I think that would be a good way to demonstrate to West Virginians that he's not someone who's simply going to Washington, to oppose the president and to be a thorn in his side. Someone who's going to vote more like Elizabeth Warren than he is, according to the wishes of the constituents that he serves.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how things go here. Been talking to Alex Smith, former chair of the College Republican National Committee, the first female elected chair of that organization in its 125-year history, and you're also the executive director of America Rising. Where can folks learn more about that?
They can go to americarisingpac.org. We hold Democrats accountable 24/7, 365 days out of the year, so you can see all of our greatest hits on the Democrats coming up for this midterm election.
All right. Well, it's a full-time job right there. All right, Alex.
It sure is.
Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, bye-bye. 8:56. Well, we'll see what happens here in the confirmation process. If Judge Kavanaugh will be confirmed, ought to be interesting. Seems like most conservatives are very excited about this pick.